Hello everyone, welcome to a Paper Flourish craft video. My name is Julie. Thank you for joining me today. I'm going to be making a Lavinia Christmas card. Through November, I'll be putting up a whole lot of videos of just some easy to make Christmas cards using your Lavinia stamps. So different ideas for backgrounds, things like that. So if you haven't had a chance to get started on your Christmas cards yet, like me, it'll give you a chance to get started on them. And hopefully by the end of November, you'll have those Christmas cards all ready to go. Two stamps I want to use as the focus today. This one is lovely. It's called the Red Berry Wreath. And the sentiment I'd like to use is the spirit of Christmas. The words in this are stunning. May the spirit of Christmas bring you peace. The gladness of Christmas give you hope. The warmth of Christmas grant you love. Just absolutely stunning. All right, so the background we're going to do today is going to involve some Distress Oxide inks. We're going to smush them onto the mat, pick them up on the card, do a bit of blending, stamping, a bit of decorating, and we'll be done. So smushing, you can smush the ink onto your mat, spray it with the water, pick it up. One of the things I like to use when I do the smushing is this fantastic little plate. Now this is it's the mirror stamping plate from Stampendous. Here it is, the mirror stamping plate from Stampendous. So it can also be used to stamp the mirror image of a stamp. But I like to use this for the smushing. It comes in between the plastic packets here, so I'm going to take that off. It's got a bit of bend in it, so I find it really easy to not only smush the ink onto, but then use it to get the ink onto the card. So it's like a wobbly plate, I guess you'd call that. Now the ink to start, I'm going to go with a nice green, and I'm thinking of going Lucky Clover. So I'm just going to smush this onto my mat. It's very pretty green, this one. Where's my water bottle? Here it is. Give it a spray. And then I just pick this up, because I can bend it, making a good mess there, aren't I? And I'm just going to spush some ink onto my card, to make a bit of an interesting background. And so that's with the Lucky Clover Distress Oxide. Let's clean that up. This is easy to clean up as well. Just wipe with a baby wipe. You could go with another colour if you wanted to. We might even do that in a moment. And so that looks pretty good. Now, if I'm doing multiple colours like this, I always give it a dry in between. I am using Lavinia Multifarious cardstock, the white cardstock. And I've got this piece here is about 1/4 of an A4 sheet. It's the size I'm using. I find if I dry in between, the colours don't tend to blend together quite so much. Stay a bit more separate. So that's the Lucky Clover. And so which one shall we do next? Got a whole lot of inks over here on the side. Wild Honey. This is almost like an orangey yellow colour. Spush, 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 spush onto the mat. Smush, smush. And then give it a spray with the water. And let us pick that up and go smush, 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 smush onto the card. Like the sound effects? Smush, smush, smush. There we go. Okay. Wipe it off there. Have a quick wipe with the baby wipe. Oh, we've got quite a pretty background happening now. It's all good. Let's give it a good dry now with the heat tool. That Wild Honey is such a pretty colour. It's beautiful. Give it a really good dry, because we're now going to be starting to do our stamping onto here. Almost dry. Okay. Quick, easy way to make a background. Let's get my mat, a little bit of a wipe over there. Gorgeous Lavinia stamps mat. Could not be without this craft mat. I'm just going to get a bit of paper to work on here. Okay, so we've got a pretty interesting looking background happening. Now, so I think the next thing I'm going to do, which way up do I like it? Can't decide. I'm just going to get my heat tool because it's still just a little bit wet in here. Just want to make sure that's 100% dry. That's better. Now I'm going to stamp this with the Versafine Clair, Versafine Clair inks. I've got a couple here. I picked up Rainforest. I've got the black ink. I think I might do the Red Berry Wreath with the Rainforest. So I'm going to take off the large wreath. I'm thinking of popping that around about here. Maybe we might put it on a slight angle like that. So I'm just going to pop this on one of the Lavinia acrylic boards. Ink it up with the Rainforest Versafine Clair, which is a really nice dark green. Good for Christmas. There we go. A bit of ink there on the stamp. Just take that off. Okay. Again. Very pretty fine stamp, this one. Okay. I think we might bring it around just like that. Hold it down, let the ink transfer into the card. Press, press, press. And let's take that away. There we go. It's pretty, doesn't it? Very delicate, very pretty stamp. I could make another side, continue it on, but I've decided not to. All right. That's the Red Berry Wreath. Now the sentiment, I've decided is going to go in here. Just like that. And I'm going to stamp this now in the black. In the Nocturne. Which one? Let's pop it on here. It's a little bit big. I've got a, where's my thin plate? There's a plate that's exactly the perfect size for this stamp. Here it is. Because it's long and thin. And that way, lots of control over the stamping. See here, it's perfect for this stamp. So let's ink that up in the Nocturne, in the black. It'll fit just in there. Pop it near the centre of the card. And then stamp that onto the card. So Christmas will be upon us before we know it. This year has flown. There we are. So now we've got the berry wreath, we've got the sentiment, we've got the interesting background happening as well. Okay. Now, what are we going to do next on the card? I do have the feather stencil, so I thought I might could bring in a little bit of stenciling. Might do that. So this is this feather leaf stencil. This is one of the most popular stencils we have at Paper Flourish. Now, what colour? That's the next thing. We might stay with the greens. I might even just bring, where's that lucky Clover gone? It was here a minute ago. What have I done with it? Where's that Oxide gone? Oh, that's right in front of me. That'll be right. So let's do it in the lucky Clover, which we used for the smushing. I've got my Lavinia stencil brush, and I'm thinking of bringing in, take some of the ink off. I'll just bring a little bit of stenciling up here into the top. Coming down the side. See how that looks. That looks quite pretty. I think we might just do that. So I've just brought it across the top corner and just coming down to the side here. So that was in that lucky Clover. Now I'm going to make it a little bit darker around the edge. So we'll go for a stronger green, a darker green this time. And I always like Rustic Wilderness. I think that's a great one for blending your card edges. So let's do that. Take a fair bit of the ink off, and I'm just going to catch the edges as I go around. Bring it in as dark as you want. It just seems to makes the center look brighter and more of a focus. Going for a very green card today, aren't I? Bring some glitter in a moment as well. Maybe even some nice Posca dots would look pretty on here. And so we've now got our darker edge. Got a fair bit going on that card. It's quite pretty. All right, so that was with the Rustic Wilderness Distress Oxide. I did the card edges there. So the message in this is just so beautiful. It's just lovely. So I'm going to bring in some glitter, and I'm also going to do some Posca dots as well. So here's a red Posca. Posca. Probably should have found this earlier. That's a nice bright red one. I've also got a red glitter in here somewhere, but I can't just pop my finger on it at the moment. All right, so this would be nice though. So we're just going to bring some nice red Posca dots. Just bring them in around. I'm not pressing down, I'm just lightly touching. Might just bring them there on the bottom, and maybe just a little bit up here as well. Just sort of around that lovely sentiment. Move it up here a bit. That's added that little bit of brightness to the card as well. I seem to need that, the red Posca dots. Might pop a couple over here as well. And just a couple over here. Doesn't take long for the Posca pens to dry, but they do take just a little bit to dry. They don't dry straight away, but it doesn't take long. So we've got our red Posca dots now around the card. That's quite nice. Okay, the last thing I'm going to do is add some glitter, and I think I'm going to go with red tinsel. We might do this just on the berries, the little berries on the wreath there. I think that will look quite nice. So I've got my Quickie glue pen, Sakura Quickie glue pen, and I'm just going to add a dot of glue onto each of the berries. This Christmas Tinsel Eco Glitter that Lavinia puts out has red gold. It's very Christmassy, really pretty. So I'm going to pick a little bit of it up, sprinkle it over there. This will add just another little touch of red to the card, which will be pretty. Shake it off, give it a flick, and there we go. Can you see now the berries are sparkling away there? Got the red Posca dots. And I don't think I'm going to do any more to that card. So that's our first card in the Lavinia Christmas series. Keep watching. I've got lots of ideas for these Christmas cards to help us get ready for Christmas. Enjoy your day, everyone. And we'll be back again soon with more Lavinia cards. Thank you very much. Bye.